What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another week of the Challenge Circuit course guide here on the TGC Tours. This week you have the Wincoma Golf Club for the Carolina Classic. Hopefully I'm a little bit more right about this week's course. Last week I really thought people were going to be scoring pretty well. Yeah, I'm going to eat my words on that. It seemed to be a pretty difficult golf course that a lot of people struggled with. So hopefully this week I can maybe be a little bit more accurate and give you a little bit more of a firm breakdown of Wincoma Golf Club. I will say, before we even hop out onto the course, that I score worse here than I did last week at Knobs Creek. So take that as you will. Let's head out onto the course. Let's get started. As you can see, I'm sporting a new look this week. I actually got a suggestion from somebody on my YouTube who said next update all the clubs should have red grips for all the red fast we can play on my little bag update video. So I actually love that idea, so here we go. I'm out here representing today. But we are in hole number 1. So this is a little bit deceptive, this fairway, because if you look down here to the right, it may look like it kind of like slopes out, like, oh, this may come back into the middle of the fairway. Now this, if you hit it over here, anywhere over onto this right side, you're going into the rough or into the bunker. You have to keep this left, as much left as you can. It slopes back if you go into the rough a little bit, so don't be afraid to attack some, but got to keep it left. If you go off into the right, it all slopes off towards that bunker down there on the right. So just try to avoid that at all costs, because coming up to this green, it's a little tough. And your round 1 conditions are also tough. It's firm, very firm, fast. And there's a lot of short side greens for pin placement where you literally have no green to work with. Like there's a couple of holes that you're actually not going to be able to even get a putt inside like 30 feet because of that. So, pretty tough round 1 conditions. And I would say it's tough conditions on a pretty tough course. It's not the easiest of courses, that's for sure. You will see though that some of the greens, you know, you can have a little bit of, I didn't go to the left at all, so we start this off with a bogey. That's not ideal. Some of the greens, though, you'll notice that you can actually make putts from like 40 feet. Like, there's not a whole lot of break on some of them, but some of them are very dangerous. This next fairway, really anything over the low wind that you have here. So if you get anything over 2-3 mile an hour, you'll make it to that bunker and rough patch up here. If you want to be totally safe, I would play a driver back, do a partial driver. Don't do a 3-wood because then you have no chance of getting it up to the green. But a partial driver, you can still make it up there. Here it is safe to go for this. Unless you get it too far left, which I might have. If you get it too far left, it does... No, we're good. It will make it to this, like, left side rough over here. We're in a good position here, though. To maybe, just maybe, get ourselves an eagle. That'd be great. I shorted it. So we're going to have a very long putt here. But this is one of those holes where it's not an unmakeable putt, but it's mainly green going all the way up. Let's see if we can make one. I mean, this one has a bit of break comparatively. You'll see some of the holes here on pin 1. It's just there's not much there. Just not a whole lot of break. Decent line going into this hill. Close. Great lag putt. We'll get that bogey back instantly, which is very good. We don't want to let that linger too much. For this one, you just gotta attack. I'm in between clubs a lot, so you gotta try to hit it frontside green, because if you get it too deep, because of the very firm, you do kind of roll out. If you hit it too fast, you do roll out over here, which is very bad. This putt is not ideal just because of the way the sloping is coming into the hole, coming on this big downhill slope. If you want to be anywhere, you want to miss right over here, but I know that's difficult because you don't have a lot of green to work with, but we're going to try to land it frontside green here, see if we maybe can get a good roll up. Little too hard. She's gonna roll far. Those very firm fast greens, they take balls for a run. But at least we're representing, you know? Oh! Close. All right. Another par. All right, so there is a little bit of management to do here. I will say on high winds, you have to fade it a touch if you're right-handed, but you can make this green. You can make this green. You just gotta loft it up into the wind, do a touch of fade, get a nice bounce going into it, but you can actually make this green. Here on this hole right now with the wind, if I were to hit this just straight up, this 296 off here into, you know, the fairway or maybe even the rough, it's a short side shot, and a splash shot or a flop shot becomes very, very difficult to hit into this green, especially with the way the sloping is, and especially if you go into the rough. So you have to make a choice. Do you want to splash shot it up? You can. It makes it, I feel, more difficult than bringing a 3-wood in here and trying to just hit a wedge in, because you're going to have a much higher trajectory coming into these firm greens, and you're going to be able to stick it a little better. So at the end of the day, it's like whatever you're most comfortable with, but for me, I just want to take a nice, easy 3-wood in here and get myself, you know, a cool, calm sand wedge. Because look at the way that the sloping is. When you splash or flop this in, you have to be on a dot hitting it front side so that it doesn't go too far. Especially if you get into the rough, you're not going to get as much spin on it. And you end up rolling out hard over into here, which makes that putt just a lot more difficult. So I've been taking a wedge in to try to get it to, well, preferably not slow it, but just to get it to stick on this green a little bit more. My tempo's off a little bit right now. But you can stick it a little bit better taking a wedge in than you can with a splash or a flop from the distance that you are away, which is usually like a gap wedge. It's like usually a gap wedge, pitching wedge type of splash or flop shot. And you're just not going to get as much roll on it. Or spin on it, not roll. So just a touch of course management. She slopes off to the right, hit it to the left. Or straight ball it straight into the rough. Or bunker, that's my favorite spot. Don't go right. We can get it up here, but it's very difficult with the way that this plateauing is. We're gonna try though. See if we can get up the second hill. Oh, it actually stopped. I don't know how it stopped, but we take that. We definitely take that any day of the week. Let's see if maybe we can make this. Damn. All right. Another deceiving drive. Just if you were to look at it from a distance, all of this slopes down into that bunker. Again, this whole entire right side slopes down into that bunker. So you have to hit it to the left or dead middle. It starts to kind of slope off to the left a little bit, but at least it's slightly flat over here to the left that you can keep it on the fairway. But if you go right, especially with this driver, you're not going to be able to hold it in the fairway. It all slopes off to the right. So you just got to keep this left side to avoid all of that. The shot's a little deceiving just looking at it like really quickly. This might actually be a great shot. Oof. Those very firm greens. Should be good. All right. Finally a birdie on the board. I've been around like a -7, 8, you know, in there. I had a -4 round. That was just bad. Going into the rough off some of these tees is a death sentence for par. Grip and rip, you can make it. You need a really good bounce coming in, but it is possible to get close. No matter what you do, do not go over to the left. Don't go in the bunker. Don't go in the rough. Don't do any of it. I know you can't really see it, but you can see the slope up here. That is all downhill from the left side. So if you go to the left side, you're going to be working with a downhill slope that you're going to be hitting into the entire way. I don't know how many times I've hit it and just rolled off the green here on the right. So just don't take it left. Try to keep it right, even if it's in the rough. I could care less where it lands right, just as long as it is not over on the left side in that bunker or in that rough. Because getting it up, like, look at this. It's a pretty nasty green. Like I said, some of the greens are super easy, and then some are like this, where it's like in the middle of a orange slope. So we want to keep this right. That's a little too far of a distance there. I want to get that a little bit closer. I didn't want to have to deal with the orange slope, but and just like that, we take home a par. God dang it. I knew I should have hit that a lot more firm. Gosh darn it. Just didn't think that one through. But that's how quickly you can turn that into a bogey. Like if you're over on the left side and you go off the green, you have to splash it back up. and you miss that putt, and all of a sudden, that's a bogey. All right, this is one of the holes where it's an impossible, not an impossible. You can land it like perfectly in this like 2-yard region that you have. If you land it too short, it hits, doesn't get a big enough bounce, and just rolls off onto the right. If you hit it to the left, you'll slope out. If you hit it too long, then you have this terrible shot to deal with, which I've had to do a few times. In all of the practice rounds I did for this round number 1, I have never held it on the green in a favorable spot, which is like in here. Not once. You have to land it on this like, it has to be landed on a dot, like right here, to get your bounce to the right with just enough speed to actually hold the green. If I had to pick, though, I'd rather be down here chipping and splashing than be over here putting, because it's a pretty nasty putt, and you have a good chance of rolling it off the green. So I'm just gonna play it back. I play it safe. I don't want to take the chance. If I end up having to chip here, which I'm going to, I'm actually fine with that. Above, you know, our other options, which is having to make that stupid putt, because it's bad. But with the very firm, hitting a 3-iron in, you're just not going to hold it. If you land it on the green, solid, you're going to take a huge bounce and you're going to roll out. So we'll take par. I've never birdied this hole. I have actually never birdied this hole. Hole 8. Not a once. All right. Again, another deceptive drive, except this one is even harder. Anything just slightly left here, into the bunker, into the rough. Anything right, into the bunker, into the rough. It isn't sloping out more as much to the right. It's sloping down, and you're coming off of a downhill. You're hitting it downhill as well. So you're gonna get a little bit more. You're gonna get a little bit more spin on it. So you got to hit this dead nuts down the middle if you want to hold this green beautifully. And give yourself a good chance of going for it. It's a very long par 5. You can play it back to play it safe, but you won't be able to make green that way. So it's kind of at your own risk. Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty sure this is going to go rough. Oh, okay. We actually held green. Okay, that doesn't happen too often. Held green, held fairway. That actually doesn't happen too often at all. I usually roll that thing into the rough and I have to 3-iron it out. Oh, we're gonna go for it. Driver is out. Driver off the deck, baby. That's gonna be too much. Hold it a little bit. Probably wouldn't have held either way, but at least got it up close here. Another downhill lie that we're coming into. Downhill green. Hold. Bummer. Bummer. That's the risk you take. Okay. Yeah, cool joke. There's the par. This is where I get into trouble at with this course. It's like just these slight misses, slightly too hard, and roll off. But then you'll get these greens that are like just flat. And those are the greens that, you know, you could definitely score on a lot better. But some of these greens are just, some of these greens are pretty brutal. You have to be really on your game in order to score well, I feel, at this course, consistently. Like this one, if you fast it, have fun making that putt. You slow it, you're off. It's a lot of short-sighted greens like this. This is pretty much the course. And then you have to deal with the very firm greens as well. Just tough conditions on a pretty tough course, I feel. All right. We're better on the back nine. This might be a little round, though, because I should have shot better on the front. Go too far left, you're in the sand. You got to keep this rightmost on this fairway. We can shoot it up and over that bunker easy. But we got to keep it a little bit to the right, just the way that it slopes up. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. We're going to bring a nice, cool, calm 4-iron in. Again, if we're short, I am completely okay with that. I'm going to fast it a touch just because I want to get a little extra roll on this instead of going for the perfect with this 4-iron. Oh, should be good. No, we lost it. If you hit it too much, it's all downhill. The greens are very, very, very protected by the natural sloping of the greens. All right, let's see if we can slam this one home. That'd be something. 286. All right. Let's see. Hold it. Probably still wouldn't have mattered, but... All right, we'll take another birdie. We'll take another birdie. Can't complain with it. We got back-to-back fives here. We got to make the most of it. Grip and rip. That's what you do here. You grip, and you don't slow it. Oh, we might be safe, though. Get to the other fairway. Get to the other fairway. Oh, my gosh. Actually safe. Oh, my gosh. Actually safe, dude. That is wonderful. All right, let's go for it. Come on. Too much? Too much. If I didn't slow it over there, you can actually take a really, like, firm 3-wood in. And it works out pretty well. Just unfortunate. Tempo's just a little terrible today. That's all. Probably because I'm not fasting like every single shot. But I mean, I've never done that, so. All right, here we go. 13th. We are on another grip and rip. The fairway is actually pretty generous with you here on this hole. Except if you straight ball it straight over into this bunker, then it doesn't matter what the hell the fairway does. Oh, nope, it's just gonna bounce right on over to the rough. All right. Okay. More plateauing to work here and another very tough pin, but that's all right. We'll get all the way through all that. All right, time for a terrible putt. Brought to you by... well, nothing, but... and we make big putt. Oh, no we can't, because the game hates us. Still 4 under. Damn. Had a nice little streak going there, but that's all right. Okay, so 176. This is a tough one for me. 176 is too far if I hit it straight up. 166 isn't enough, so we have to do a 176, but I have to pop it up a touch. The only thing you can do is just go at the hole. Because of the way that the green's sloping downhill at the front of the green, you're almost always going to go past the hole. But if you just go straight at it, maybe you can get lucky and hit the pin, get a hole in one. Or you slow it, and you just put it off over into the bunker here. You know, whichever one you do. Whichever one sounds good to you, you know? Okay, hey, at least we saved par. Scrambling, but that's okay. Nice round, Uber. You know what to do. You know what to do. Take a nice little pitch in here. You just got to go right at it. Gosh darn it. Please roll down the hill. Please roll down the hill. Oh, man. That is tough. All right. Gosh darn it, man. I hate when I'm not playing well. Absolutely hate it. I'm trying to go for worst round I've shot yet. Another scenario of grip it and rip it. If you get a higher wind the same direction, you're probably going to have to lay up, but we're not worried about that. I have ended off with a really bad shot. I have ended off over in here. You can actually recover up to the green from there. So don't be too afraid to attack. The fairway does work in your favor here on the left side, so don't be afraid to try to slam her home. Hey. It's a perfect. I just didn't get too far right how I wanted, but okay. All right, 5 under. See if we can go out hot. Birdie, birdie, birdie. See if we can get this to a 7 under. That would be ideal. Another tough green to hold. You're into the wind. It's downhill. That's gonna add some. You pretty much have to hit the most perfect shot here. Even if you do hit a perfect shot, though, you can still roll all the way out just by getting it just a touch too far right. If you get a touch too far right because of the very firm, fast greens, even with this 8-iron, it doesn't matter. You're rolling all the way out to the right, which brings into a little bit of a trouble if you accidentally overhit a putt. Oh, look at this. Oh, you're back on the other side. So you have to hit this spot on. I mean spot on. You have to get the perfect distance on this 8-iron to land it like here. Like right here is where you need to land the ball. Which we're going to try to do. Can't make any promises, that's for sure. And we fast it, so we're off over into no man's land. So now we have to be careful that we don't overhit this and roll all the way. Which we're probably going to, if I'm being honest here. We're more than likely going to overhit this. Oh, boy. Whew. Playing with fire for that up and down. There's really no safe space or safe place to be on this green at all. There's not a single safe place. It is all bad. Another grip and rip. Try to, of course, stay away from that. This actually flattens out some. It slopes off to the left and flattens out. So you can hit it over here on the right side. I mean, unless you straight ball it and take it just straight into the rough, then it won't, but... And recovering from here is almost impossible. We're going to try, though. Yeah, going into the rough here is not good. We're going to be scrambling. We're definitely going to be scrambling here. Oh, we might have been able to make it if we would have hit that a little bit more to the right. Another up and down. Deep bunkers all over. Not terrible. If I make this, we do one stroke better. If I miss it, ugh. All right. Oh, one of my worst rounds. One of my worst rounds here. Of course, it happens during the course guide recording. Never fails. Never fails. But there's Wincoma Golf Club. This is your TGC Tours Challenge Circuit course this week. Tough course. Tough conditions for round one. I could probably, if I had to take a guess, you know, I don't know what round two conditions are, but if I had to take a guess, cut's probably going to be a little worse this week. You know, 5 under, 6 under, somewhere in there. You guys will probably all go out and crush it, and it'll be a 14 under cut line. But there you have it. Thank you for stopping by, checking this out. Good luck with your rounds this week. Hopefully you all do well. Hopefully this helps you get prepared and get ready for it as well. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on the video or think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. I stream live over at twitch.tv/respawntv if you're interested in seeing the live side of things. You can also catch some memes, bad sports takes, just sad boy hours over at Twitter. You can find me at respawntv_. Hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you on the next one.